Hello Cabbage fans, and welcome to another Wednesday on Of Cabbages and Rants. I asked Adam if I could not post a video this week because I've sort of been all over the place emotionally due to events that happened over the weekend, but he told me that I had to post a video anyway. Oh Tom. I did like that you managed to take the topic of nothing and make an interesting video about it, but the topic system is all over the place. I'm just going to assume that we're skipping Tom this time round because it's already so messed up. So I'm just going to issue next week's topic at the end of the video because I have to have a bit of a think about it. This week's topic was education and stress related to it. For those of you who are curious, I did manage to get my assignments in on time. I came home after work yesterday feeling very sick and finished my civs essay and then drove them into school and dropped them off, and then I came home and slept for a very long time. And now I'm feeling okay again, but nonetheless I managed to get the essays in on time, and I actually think they're not half bad. If I do badly, I won't tell you how I go in them. I'm the kind of person who puts a lot of pressure on myself to get things done and to get them done well. Because I've always been a good student, I suppose I always felt the pressure to be a good student. I've got two younger sisters who I grew up with, and growing up with them, I was the eldest, obviously, and I always did pretty well in school. And so when they did well in school, they tended to get a reward for it. I think my sister once got an A on a contract work that she was supposed to be doing through school, and Mum took her shopping and got some new clothes and stuff for her, but it was just pretty standard for me. If I did well, I did well. If I did badly, nobody really talked about it. So as a result of that, I've never really done badly. I've just put pressure on myself to keep up sort of top quality work because I feel like that's what I have to do, because that's part of who I am, because it's what I've always done. I felt like I could have done better than I did by the end of year 12. Even though my results were good and I came out with a really good TCE score, I hadn't kept up with a lot of the work, and I wanted to give myself the opportunity to do better. And so I decided to defer uni for a year and take a year off school to work. And I'm really glad I did that because that put life into perspective for me. What Adam was saying about how education isn't the be-all and end-all, nothing can really put that into perspective for you until you're working full-time. I'm really grateful that I did that now, and I would encourage everyone else who is moving on from college to university to take a break. It puts everything into context. There's a very big contrast between what you're supposed to care about and what is actually practical to care about. I spent last year, instead of worrying about essay deadlines, I was worrying about rental payments and affording to go to the dentist to keep my teeth. That, to me, is a lot more immediately important than whether or not I hand in an essay on time. I really don't think the importance of a deadline is anywhere near as high as the importance of your own personal health or, you know, basic obligations like paying rent and paying bills and putting petrol in the car so you can get from place to place. They're all more important things to worry about as far as I'm concerned. So far this year, I haven't had any stress from school, and I don't really think that I will. Some people approach education as if it's a really elitist thing, and the more facts and the biggest words that you can spew out, the better you're going to be at it, and I don't think that's the case. It's interesting that when Adam said that he wanted to be a teacher, a good half of our subscribers who regularly comment on videos popped up and said, I want to teach too. So do I, which is why I'm going to uni. I'm doing my Bachelor of Arts for 3 years, and then I want to teach secondary or pre-tertiary education, and I want to teach history and English because I'm a grammar Nazi. I do agree that there is an unusually high amount of pressure placed on kids when they go to school. It's not a pressure that I feel in the workplace, and it's not a pressure I feel in any other aspect of my life. The pressure of getting stuff done for school was horrible. There were things that I didn't get finished when I was in high school, for instance, that I still worry about every now and then, and I'm nearly 20. I shouldn't be worrying about stuff that happened when I was 15. That's ridiculous. The high school that I went to is closed now. They merged with another school this year, so it doesn't exist anymore. But they had a graduation system based on how many points you could attain through doing certain community-based things during the year. So according to my school, to graduate, you had to earn 1,000 points. Otherwise, you just got a certificate. Now, this was the ultimate shame in school, but I don't see why, because, I mean, a certificate means you still passed. It just means you didn't go along with their regime. It's still a certificate. Everywhere else, to anybody else unrelated to the school, it's a high school graduation certificate. But to us, because it wasn't a points-based thing, it was terrible. So we had graduation at 1,000 points. We then had graduation with credit, graduation with merit, and graduation with distinction. To graduate with distinction, you needed 1,800 points. I think I graduated with just over 2,000 points. But, I mean, that was a really big deal, and I was really concerned that I wasn't going to be able to do that. It was a huge, huge thing, and I reckon the last 4 or 5 weeks of school we spent trying to consolidate graduation points to make sure we could graduate, and people were worrying about it outside of school, and we were hastily putting together community projects last minute to get it done. And so on top of the stress of leaving school and having exams coming up, we were out there trying to sell raffle tickets and donating money to charity and organising barbecues. It was really insane and strange. So yeah, there are emotionally scarring issues that go on in schools because an undue amount of stress is placed on students over these trivial, ridiculous things. I reiterate, I have never experienced the sort of stress outside of school that I experienced during school, and I will not allow myself to feel that kind of pressure again. That is ridiculous. Life is far more easy than they make it out to be. I've never actually thought about it all like this before, but that makes me really angry. What a stupid system. We need a punishment for Laura. I don't like the idea of punishing you, Laura, because I know that you are trying. The fact is, it's been happening for a while now, so we do need a punishment of some sort. Purely and simply because if I hadn't have posted this video, I would have been punished, and I think that's unfair. So, we need one. Kate-I already suggested that you paint yourself purple, but Brown wanted something that was a step up from last time. I am actually unsure as to what to choose for this punishment. So, if people want to suggest ideas for punishments. Next week, I want us to talk about traditions for special occasions. So, I'm talking about Christmas and Easter, which is coming up, and Valentine's Day that's just been... I know a lot of people are really anti-Valentine's Day, and a lot of people really hate Christmas because they feel like they're too commercialised. So, I want to talk about that. I don't think we've talked about that. Have we? I don't know. I'm going to go and mop the floor now. Goodbye!
The end.